Well, General Bolger, Daniel Bolger, now a history teacher at North Carolina State University, thanks for dropping by, and we're preparing for a longer conversation on North Carolina Book Watch about your book. But I thought it would be great if you could tell us a little bit about the lessons that might be applicable that you talk from the experience that you talk about in Afghanistan and Iraq in terms of helping our country come to maybe more informed and better decisions about how to deal with this sort of special ISIS challenge that we face in Syria and Iraq.
Yeah, no, ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, is a dangerous threat in that region. They are the guerrilla or insurgent forces we left in the field when we pulled the bulk of our forces out of Iraq in 2011. They grew in strength from 2011 till the present, and they currently are controlling areas in both Syria and northern Iraq. What should we do about it? Well, we've already tried to send 100,000 Americans thing in. That works as long as we're there. We've heard of troop surges and things like that. But the nature of a surge is it's like the wave on the beach. It washes in and it washes out, but the effect is temporary. If we want a long-term effect, we got to accept that it's going to have to be a solution by the Iraqis and the Syrians. I won't talk that much about Syria because I think we've seen moderate Syrians are pretty thin on the ground up there. Your choices are either to go with the Bashar Assad regime, which is a pretty odious bunch, or to go with ISIS, an equally odious bunch. Maybe we'll leave that to the Russians since they seem interested there. But in terms of Iraq, there you do have the remnants of the group that we worked with in our campaign there from 2003 to 2011. That government in Baghdad is a Shia government that's heavily influenced by Shia Iran. There's more Iranian advisors in Iraq today than there are American advisors. So it's made it an odd alliance, a group we didn't think we'd be working with. But the Iranians are equally committed to going against ISIS. So it's created an odd situation where we're working with an enemy force. Is ISIS mainly a Sunni operation? It is. It's a Sunni operation, and it is the evolution of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. So they trace their family lineage back to bin Laden's Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan and northwest Pakistan.
Well, let me just ask you, how is the challenge of ISIS different from the one that we faced originally when we went into Iraq?
The different challenge now is that we are not going to use the option of a large number of American ground troops. When we went after the original Al-Qaeda in Iraq and the other insurgent groups in Iraq, we took a U.S. lead for about 8 years, where U.S. forces took the lead. We gradually built some Iraqi partner forces, but we were the men and women out going door to door looking for these guys. Now it's an Iraqi lead, and as most Americans are seeing, the Iraqis are slow. They do it at their own pace. They do it in their own way, but it's got to be their solution. And in the long run, it's done some things that do suit American policy. ISIS right now, although they're very active in that region, they have not been able to mount international attacks because they're busy defending themselves from the Iraqi forces and the Assad regime in Syria. And we've also used our air support to help them. We have great air power in the United States Armed Forces, and they've gone in to assist the Iraqis on the ground. It's going to be a long-term struggle. I mean, President Barack Obama has said he looks at this as a matter of years. I think not only his successor, but the successor's successor will still have a small number of American advisors working to contain ISIS in Iraq.
A lot of our response has been through air power. And is that something that that's working, and that if it is, that we can keep up for a while?
Well, it's working in the American sense because we don't have troops on the ground getting shot. Air power is effective if you have good targeting. Our targeting is hostage to what the Iraqis tell us. The best type of targeting would be to have U.S. Joint Terminal Air Controllers there, our own airmen there directing it, but we don't have that. So it's the second best solution. It does help the Iraqis fight ISIS. It gives them some firepower they wouldn't otherwise have. And it shows U.S. commitment to the effort, which is keeping the Baghdad government on track.
While you were there, one of the strategies was to bring some of the Sunni Arabs into the League with the Shia government and the Iranian backing, the Shia Iranian backing. Is there any hope to mobilize the non-Shia Iraqis? Is that
there's some hope, but I think, DG, it's going to be tough. The majority of those people don't like ISIS, the Sunni tribes out in the deserts on the western side of Iraq and in northwest Iraq. They don't like ISIS, but they really don't like that Iranian-dominated government in Baghdad. They threw in with us because we were a third force there.
Wow.
When we're gone in numbers, they've really got nowhere to go.
Well, thanks for helping us to try to understand what's going on today, and thanks for for the lessons that you've given us in your book, Why You Lost. I look forward to talking to you about it on North Carolina Book Watch.
Thank you, DG.